Hello, Nathan Cox here. I'm going to do a quick video here on how to rescreen a window screen. So almost everyone's got window screens, and a lot of you got a screen with a hole in it. This one here came from my son's room. Not only was the screen aging, but the neighborhood cats decided to get into it and play on it. Fun, right? So obviously now it doesn't keep the bugs out, and it just looks really nasty on the side of the house. So let's fix that, shall we? What you need is a roll of window screen. These really come in 4-foot and 3-foot widths. Most of the time a 3-foot width will handle just about any window screen, but I sometimes buy the 4-foot widths just because I come across a lot of different windows. Sometimes I need that. I've already pre-cut that to make this video a little bit quicker. You're going to need a utility knife with a fresh blade in it, a screen tool, which should be available in any hardware store that sells screen supplies, flathead screwdriver. Now this is a roll of screen spline. It's just that rubber tubing that goes in that holds the screen. A lot of times you can reuse what's already there, but if you feel that it's really old and you might not be able to, take a piece of it out to take it with you to the hardware store, because there are different thicknesses of that spline. And that also differs if you're going to use a fiberglass or the wire screen, because the wire screen is thicker. Now this video here, I'm going to do the fiberglass into this screen here, so that's what this video is going to focus on, because there's a slightly different installation for the wire. And then, adding to that note there, you have your screen tool, and some of you are like, well, there's two wheels on it. You know, one has the concave edge, which goes inward. The other one has the convex edge, which is rounded outward. Okay? The convex edge, which is rounded outward, is for the wire screen. You roll this in the wire screen to bend it inside the groove. So most people use fiberglass, and so we won't be talking about that side right there. We're going to talk about this one right here, the concave edge, which is rounded inward, which helps to roll along the edge of the spline. That's what this is for. It's for putting the spline in. Okay, simple tools. All right, window screen. Find the corner where the spline comes together, because typically it's just one piece wrapped around. So typically in one of the corners is where it's going to be. That's where it separates. Use your screwdriver to help pull that out. And just roll it around. It's good to find a good flat hard surface. I don't have a good table, so I just found a spot in the garage floor. Alright, so pull that out. Now push the screen out. And most screens are simply just aluminum tubing with plastic corner pieces. So when you pull this apart, be careful you don't pull on the screen too hard, because a lot of times that's actually holding the frame together from pulling apart from itself. So if you go yanking real hard, you'll actually separate the frames, which can be snapped back together. Let's try to keep this simple, okay? Okay, old screen, pretty dusty and old. New screen. Lay it over. You're going to want a couple of inches of overlap on every side. So figure out which way your screen fits better over the frame. Okay, got the spline. I'm going to reuse the old spline. I'm going to put it right back in place. So make sure you got the right end of this. I like to start in the corner, get it in place, use a screwdriver. Screwdrivers are for the corners. Get the spline started. And then just kind of, you want to line the spline up with the groove so that it wants to follow into the groove rather than going in or out, because if you start rolling really hard and it slips, you can actually cut the screen. So kind of just use small movements back and forth to get it into place, and then just continue to rotate the frame around. Like I said, use a screwdriver to squish it down in the corners. And for those of you who are saying I'm making it look too easy, I'll be honest, you know, I've repaired more than 100 screens, so it does take a bit of practice to get good. But this is something that a do-it-yourselfer should be able to accomplish, and accomplish with a good finished product. So here we go. Going around the last corner now. Sometimes the actual screen material loosens up a little bit. You want to kind of pull it out. Now, let me start this, redo this corner just a little bit. You don't want the screen to be really tight because then it'll warp the frame. We don't want it to be loose and sloppy either, so sometimes you gotta make sure the screen is laying flat. It doesn't have any bulges in it there that'll look bad when we're done. Okay, so there we go. A lot of times you have, even though this is the same spline we took off, a lot of times you have a little bit of extra because it is a rubber-based spline, so it sometimes will stretch when you put it back in. So cut off the excess spline, then with your knife, run it on the back side of the spline. Be careful not to jump over and cut the good screen. Because you really can't bend in the corner just right, so you got to kind of come back, make sure you get it all out of the corners with your utility knife real good. Okay, there we go. Not bad. So I hope you liked that video. I hope that helped a lot of you guys out to know how to do this. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'll have links to my Facebook page in the description down below. Please subscribe. Thanks again.